let's be honest. Trying to research cancer can feel like you're trying to drink from a fire hose, right? There's just so much information out there on treatments, supplements, studies, it's a lot. So today, we're going to look at a tool that's designed to bring a little bit of order to all that chaos. Okay, let's dive right in. So here's the plan. We'll start by talking about that challenge of information overload. Then I'll introduce you to this organizational tool. We'll explore all the different research categories it helps you sort through, see how you can actually build a draft document, and then we'll cover the most important part, how you use this to have a better conversation with your doctor. All right, first up, navigating cancer information. This is a hurdle that pretty much every patient and their family hits right at the beginning of their journey. Does this sound familiar? You start looking for answers, and then suddenly you are just buried under this mountain of preclinical lab studies, articles about supplements, and all these super complex medical terms. It is totally 100% understandable to feel completely overwhelmed. So how do you even begin to manage all of that? Well, that brings us to the whole point of this explainer, a new kind of organizational tool. You can almost think of it as your own personal research assistant. So what is this thing? It's called the OncoIntegrate Protocol Builder. And at its core, it's a digital tool designed to help you explore and organize different categories of compounds. Now, here's the really crucial part to get. It's focus on compounds from preclinical research. That means lab and animal studies, stuff that has not yet been proven as a human treatment. And that brings us to what is, without a doubt, the most important takeaway of this entire explainer. Let me be absolutely crystal clear here. This tool does not give medical advice. It doesn't recommend anything. It doesn't prescribe anything. What it produces is for generating ideas, for organizing your thoughts, and everything, I mean everything, must be reviewed with your professional oncology team. A really great way to think about it is like it's your personal hypothesis notepad, or maybe your own research librarian. It's not the doctor. It's the assistant who helps you gather all your notes and get them sorted before you go in to talk to the doctor. Okay, so let's get into the heart of the tool, which is this huge library of compounds. We're going to explore the different research categories it uses to help you start making sense of everything you're finding out there. So this first group of categories is all about targeting the tumor directly. You've got things like Pro-Apoptotic compounds, which is really just a sciencey way of saying things that encourage cancer cells to go through their natural self-destruct process. Or you'll see Metabolic Pathway Inhibitors, which is all about the research into ways you might be able to starve a tumor by cutting off its fuel sources, like sugar. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Modern research doesn't just look at the tumor itself. It looks at everything around it. This is about influencing the tumor's environment. Take anti-angiogenic compounds, for example. These are things studied for their potential to stop a tumor from building new blood vessels, basically cutting off its supply lines. It's a completely different angle of attack. The tool also helps you organize research into some other really fascinating mechanisms. You can explore things like immune-supporting compounds, which looks at how certain agents might help your own immune system do a better job of recognizing and fighting cancer cells. It even includes organizational frameworks like PressPulse, which just goes to show you how broad the landscape of preclinical research really is. And to make sure you really have the full picture, the builder also helps organize information on compounds that are widely discussed in patient communities, like fenbendazole. And crucially, it lets you list your conventional therapies, things like chemotherapy or immunotherapy. This is so you and your doctor can see everything in one place, which is absolutely vital for talking about potential interactions and the overall strategy. Okay, so you've seen all the categories. Now, how do you actually use this thing to create something helpful? Let's walk through building your own protocol draft, from just making a few selections all the way to getting a report you can share. It's actually a pretty simple 4-step process. First, you just select the categories that seem most interesting or relevant to your own research. Then, you can look at the specific compounds listed under each of those. Once you've made some selections, you hit a button and generate a draft. And finally, you can export the whole thing as a really clean, professional-looking PDF that you can share. Now, here's one of the most powerful features. As you're building your draft, the system is actually running an AI-assisted analysis in the background. It's screening for potential conflicts between the preclinical compounds you're choosing and the conventional medications you're already taking. But, and this is a big but, let's be super precise about this safety feature. It is AI-assisted, which means it's a helpful guide, but it's not perfect. Errors can happen. Its purpose is purely educational. It's designed to flag things for you to talk about with your doctor. It is absolutely not a substitute for a real clinical review by a healthcare professional. And all of this leads us to our final and, honestly, most vital section: informing your doctor. Because the whole point of this tool is to help you create a stronger partnership in your own care. This slide right here basically sums up the entire philosophy. Think of the stuff on the left as your role: to learn, to organize, and to come up with good questions. The stuff on the right, that belongs to your oncologist, creating a real treatment plan and giving you actual clinical advice. This tool is designed to be a bridge between the two, not a replacement for either one.
At the end of the day, the goal here is to empower that partnership with your doctor. By helping you organize this incredibly complex world of information, it lets you walk into your next appointment with a clear, professional document ready to have a more productive, more data-driven conversation about your care.
So we'll end with this thought. By getting your research organized and seeing it all laid out so clearly, a tool like this isn't just about finding potential answers. It's about helping you formulate better, more specific questions. And that shift from just passively receiving information to actively engaging with it, well, that's incredibly powerful. So, what new questions could you bring to your team?